Good evening, everyone. Karen Donovan here on the GNW show. Welcome and thanks for joining us. If it's Wednesday, it's got to be the Good News Wednesday show. And I don't know if you have ever run into a brick wall, but if you did you go around it? Did you go over it? Or did you crash through it? We have a new take on running into a brick wall we're going to be talking about tonight, starting out in our strategies for a happy life. So I asked the question, if you ran into a roadblock, a bump in the road, a brick wall, would you quit? Would you just say, oh, forget about it, it's too hard, I'm not going to bother? Or would you figure something out? So I have a great example of a young fella by the name of Tony Hawk. Now, I learn stuff when I do this show, and I guess I do it as much for me as I do for you. But Tony Hawk, if you aren't into skateboarding, is a famous skateboarder. And when he was a kid, at 10 years old, he grabbed his brother's skateboard and he took off on it. And he's picking up speed and going down the hill, and all of a sudden, right ahead, he sees a wall, and he shouts out to his brother, how do you turn this thing? How do you turn this thing? No answer from the brother. Boom, into the wall. Now, I don't honestly think it was a brick wall, or he would have been probably seriously injured, but it was some kind of a wall. Now, what did young Tony Hawk do? If he hit that wall and said, oh no, I am not going to go any further, I guess this isn't for me, would we have had such a famous skateboarder? And this guy is amazing. If you catch some YouTube videos on all the things that he does and the things he's developed in different ways of skateboarding. He kept on, he got up, he picked himself up, he brushed himself off, he went around the wall and kept on skateboarding. And that's a cool story, right? It illustrates what maybe we should do in our life. When you hit that brick wall, do you, oh, I've done this before. Do you dig your heels in and just say, I'm going at it again. I'm just going to keep going at it again. And there is the saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting a different result. What about thinking about some alternatives for when you hit that brick wall? Some strategies, setting up some plans, some ideas, learning more about what to do about the particular problem, and thinking about, is this just a brick wall? Or is this, the end? And a lot of times, those brick walls, they scare us, don't they? Because we think, well, forget about it. I'm not going to bother doing this. But in the end, sometimes if we persist and prevail, we will succeed. And I think about a client one of our readers actually, who reads our Monday morning wake up log. And she emailed me today and said, oh my gosh, I lost the link for your some things you had in your Monday morning wake up log, and I need them again. And she told me the story about her son. She wanted a link, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, of Randy Pausch. And what do we do when we hit a brick wall? And he had a famous last lecture, sad story, but it was his last lecture, and it was dynamite. And he talked about hitting a brick wall and following your dreams, your childhood dreams. And her son had wanted, when he was young, he had wanted to be an astronaut. And so sure enough, I'm watching the news tonight, and on comes the story about William Shatner and the Blue Origin rocket, 90 years old. Now think about this. If you were William Shatner back in the days when you were Captain Kirk, 55 years ago, and thinking about this wonderful space odyssey that he portrayed, and it was all, of course, all pretend at the time, and I wonder if he ever thought, I wonder if I'll ever really go up in space. And now 55 years later, there he is, going up and reaching the end of the atmosphere and almost going right into space. Now, albeit it wasn't a full voyage like the Starship Enterprise, but you get the gist. And so, is that what we want in our lives? Do we want to keep on trying, against all odds? Do we want to give it a shot, or do we want to give up? So that's our thought for tonight. And I'm going to leave you with a quote by Randy Pausch, because I think it sums it all up. He said that brick walls are there for a reason. They give us a chance to show how badly we want something. And they're there to stop people who don't want it badly enough. And they're there to stop other people who don't want it badly enough. I mean, how cool is it that things that we really want to achieve, sometimes they're hard. And sometimes, if we don't push through, we won't get them. But then on the other hand, if someone else, if it was that easy, then there would be, a million other people achieving the same thing as us. So in the end, isn't it good that a brick wall is there and it stops the people who don't want it badly enough? So the question I leave you with is, do you want it badly enough? Do you want to give it all you've got, give it your best shot, and see what happens? All right, cool. Now on to what you've probably been waiting for. I don't know, but our Monday morning wake-up call contains a trivia question, and I know that you are waiting for the answer. That's right, folks. Every Monday, we send out our little newsletter called the Monday Morning Wake Up. And it comes in your email. It gives you a little shot in the arm for the week, we hope. And in there's a trivia question. And so a lot of people like to play trivia just for fun. And so do we. So we want to include that segment in here and tell you the answer to this week's question, which is about bricks. I wonder why. And the question is, what is the most common form of bricks? In other words, what is the most common material that bricks are made of? Is it A, cement, B, clay, C, dirt and straw, or D, sand and lime? Okay. I guess we'll have a drum roll. Does anybody know the answer? If you thought it was bricks, if you thought it was dirt and straw, then you may be from the Middle Ages, because that's how they used to make bricks. However, the modern bricks are made with clay, and that is why many of them are red. Now, bricks can also be made with other things like the sand and the limestone, but the most common one, of course, is clay. So that is the answer for this week. Now you say, Karen, how do I get to play next week? And I say, okay, just send me an email at karen@homesbydonovan.com, and you too can be included in our free Monday morning newsletter called Monday Morning Wake Up, which has got a whole bunch of tips and inspirational music and stuff like that that everybody, I mean, all of it isn't for everybody, but some of it is for you. So just send me an email at karen@homesbydonovan.com, like where you live, homesbydonovan.com, and request the Monday Morning Wake Up newsletter for free. And if you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. No problem. My feelings won't be hurt. And then you'll see the official entry form in there, and you can fill it out and send it in. And then you will also get the answer on the GNW show. So that's how we work it, and we hope you have fun with it. Now, I want to announce a new segment that we have just started, and I'm pretty excited about this. So check this out. I was a little bit inspired by Star Trek to boldly go where no homeowner or home buyer has ever gone before with our product reviews. And my first one, now I will be the first to admit it's a little bit amateurish, but you got to start somewhere, right? Remember how our show used to be a year and a half ago? I had my iPhone in front of my face and I talked for 5 minutes. That was the show. And now, a year and a half, almost going into 2 years later, we've improved a little bit, I'd say. And it's fun. So anyway, here comes the man on the streets view of a product that you will chuckle about because we have been talking about it tonight. The sound is a little low on here because I was outside, but if you just turn up your volume a little bit, I think you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. Hey everybody, Karen Donovan here, and I'm standing in front, it's a little noisy, but I'm standing in front of my new front porch. And I had bricks on my front porch, and they were a little bit old and kind of falling apart and impervious to the elements, water and so on was getting in there. So I decided to have a new front porch done. And what my contractor ended up doing was replacing the brick on the side and on the bottoms, but putting a very nice natural stone steps and walkway at the top, so that this way as you walk up the stoop, it's nice and smooth and not kind of uneven as bricks might be. So this couple of last weeks, I've learned a lot about concrete and pavers and brickwork and natural stone. And to just show you here a quick time lapse of some work being done. And one of the things I want to point out to make sure that you're aware of is if your contractor is not using a level and string and boards to make sure things are straight as they go along, that's a red light, because that's what happened to me. And my first contractor did not do it level. And that is why we ended up putting the stone, natural stone on the top
of our walkway and steps because it was not level and we had to have someone else come in and redo it. So I just wanted to save you all from some time and aggravation, and hopefully you won't make the same mistake I did.
If you'd like me to share some of the wins and losses that I had, check in with me at Karen at Homes by Donovan. I've got references of really good concrete brick paver guys that I can share with you, and hopefully you can share some of your experiences with me. I look forward to sharing another tip and review with you very soon. In the meantime, make it a great day. Bye. So there you have it, folks, our first venture into product reviews. And if you have a product in particular that you'd like to find out more about, and you'd like me to do a review on it, man on the street kind of thing, please shoot me an email at karen@homesbydonovan.com, and I'll be glad to take a stab at it if at all possible. I've got a cool idea for next week, so I'm sure you'll be excited about that. And also, I'll be sharing with you some great ways of finding good, reliable contractors to help you with your projects. Well, that concludes our show for this evening. I thank you for sharing a little bit of time with me, and it made my day and made my Wednesday even better. And I hope that you join us again next week. And until then, make this a great week. Bye.
It's the Good News Wednesday show. Come on, kids, it's time to roll. Tell everybody that you know. Watch the Good News Wednesday show.